How to shoot day for night. So I'm shooting this music video and the whole thing takes place at night. The problem is we gotta shoot it during the day. So how do we do this? Day for night has been a technique that filmmakers have been using since the birth of filmmaking. Sometimes it's just a way to overcome a tough logistical challenge that you can't avoid, but it's also a great way to express a certain feeling. Here's how I do it. So the sun and the moon have a very similar light quality. This is because the sun and the moon are pretty much the same size in the sky. Even though the sun's a lot larger than the moon, the sun is a lot further away from the moon, and so to our eye, it's the same size. What that means is the quality of light that comes from them is effectively the same. This is good because it means we don't have to modify the light quality at all. It just means we have to modify the color and the exposure. We can do this in 3 steps. Number 1, we gotta bring down the exposure. The sun is super bright, it doesn't really look like nighttime. Quite often I like to expose just a pinch down in camera when doing day for night to allow any shadowy parts that are naturally occurring in the scene to really get crushed and pushed down into the blacks. I just feel like it's a little bit more realistic when the camera can't get every piece of information, much like how it would be if you were actually shooting at night. We're going to be using neutral density filters from Element Filters to help us out here. These filters are great because they are full spectrum ND filters, which means that they cut out all visible light, infrared, and ultraviolet rays. If we don't cut those rays out on a digital sensor, you're going to get some really weird color tinting. That's no good. When it gets dark, our eyes switch from using cones to rods. Rods are much more sensitive to light, but they don't manage color very well. This causes colors to kind of wash out a bit and tint our vision with kind of a grayish bluish tone. To replicate that in film, we gotta push all the color over to blue. You can go as far as you want with this blue, it's all preference from here. And lastly, be aware of the sky. The sky is usually the brightest part of any shot during the day. This is unnatural at nighttime and we don't want that. So you may have to mask out the sky individually in post and bring it down separately. Oh, and don't get the sun in your shot. Duh.